The sampling distribution is a distribution of sample statistic. When using a procedure that repeatedly samples from a population and each time computes the same sample statistic, the resulting distribution of a sample statistic is a sampling distribution of that statistic. Sampling distribution are important in statistics because they provide a major simplification en route to statistical inference. More specifically, they allow analytical considerations to be based on the sampling distribution of a statistic rather than on the joint probability distribution of all the individual sample values.
A random sample of size n is taken from a normally distributed population with mean mu and variance sigma square. The population is infinitely large or is finite with sampling with replacement. The each xi of random sample will also be normally distributed with mean mu and variance sigma square. The sample mean, which is a linear combination of n independent variables, will also have a normal distribution with mean mu and variance sigma square by n. The standard deviation of sampling distribution of means is inversely related to sample size n. As n increases, sigma upon under root n decreases. For large samples, the distribution of sample means will be clustered closer to mu. For smaller sample sizes, the sampling distribution is more spread out. If we take a sample without replacement from a finite population, the finite population correction factor is applied. The sample mean is normally distributed with mean mu and variance equal to sigma square by n multiplied by n minus n upon n minus 1. When sample size is small relative to population size, that is, when n is less than or equal to 0.05 n, the variance of sample means tend to sigma square by n, since n minus n upon n minus 1 tends to 1. If population is normally distributed, then sampling distribution of means will also be normally distributed, irrespective of sample size, that is for any n. Example 1. Suppose annual percentage salary increases of CEOs of all mid-sized corporations are normally distributed with mu equal to 12.2% and sigma equal to 3.6%. A random sample of 9 observations is obtained from this population and the sample mean computed. What is the probability that x will be less than 10%? Since population is normally distributed, the sampling distribution of x bar will also be normal with mean of x bar equal to mu equal to 12.2 and standard deviation of x bar is equal to 3.6 upon under root 9, which is equal to 1.2. Probability that x is less than 10 is equal to probability z is less than 10 minus 12.2 upon 1.2 is equal to 5 times minus 1.83, which is equal to 0.0336. Example 2. Marks obtained by 3000 students in an admission test are normally distributed with mu equal to 68 and sigma equal to 3. If 80 random samples of 25 students each are obtained, what would be mean of x bar and standard deviation of x bar if sampling is done A with replacement, B without replacement? In how many samples would you find x bar greater than 69? If sampling A with replacement, then standard deviation of x bar is equal to 3 upon under root 25, which is equal to 0.6. B without replacement, then standard deviation of x bar is equal to 3 whole under root 3000 minus 25 upon 3000 minus 1 upon under root 25, which is equal to 0.6. We obtain similar results for a and b since n is equal to 0.0083 n. Probability that x is greater than 69 is equal to 1 minus probability x is less than 69, which is equal to 1 minus probability z is less than or equal to 69 minus 68 upon 0.6, which is equal to 1 minus 5 times 1.67, which is equal to 1 minus 0.9525, which is equal to 0.0475. Number of samples with x greater than 69 is equal to 80 multiplied by 0.0475, which is equal to 3.8. When infinite number of successive random samples of size n are taken from a given population with mean mu and variance sigma square, the distribution of sample means will be approximately normally distributed with mean mu and standard deviation sigma upon under root n, provided n is sufficiently large irrespective of the shape of the population distribution. The larger the sample size n, the better the approximation of distribution of sample mean with normal distribution. For large values of n, the sample mean distribution will be more bell-shaped. The size of sample that closely resembles a normal distribution depends on how strongly the shape of population being sampled departs from normal distribution. In many cases, a small sample size is enough to approximate normal distribution, while in others a large sample size is required. In practice, we can follow the rule of n greater than 30 provided n is greater than 2n, where n and n are population and sample sizes respectively, to achieve satisfactory approximations. The central limit theorem is useful in estimation and test of hypotheses about mean when the distribution of population is unknown. The theorem enables to use the normal distribution as an approximation of the distribution of sample means. The CLT extends the case of normal population distribution to those of non-normal distribution. Hence, if the distribution is unknown or known to be non-normal with large sample size, normal distribution is used to approximate the sample mean distribution. When population standard deviation is known, the sampling distribution of mean will be approximately normal with mean mu and variance sigma square upon n for n greater than or equal to 30. When sigma is not known and estimated by sample standard deviations s, a large sample is needed. The sample mean will be approximately normally distributed with mean mu and variance s square upon n when n is greater than or equal to 40. Hence, the central limit theorem provides a short method to approximate the sample mean distribution in cases when either the population distribution is unknown or when the population is known to be not normal. Hence, the following result emerges. When sigma square is known and the population distribution is not normal, the sampling distribution of mean will be approximately normal when n is greater than or equal to 30. If sigma square is unknown and estimated by sample s square and the population distribution is not normal, the sampling distribution of mean will be approximately normal when n is greater than or equal to 40. Example 3. A random sample of size n equal to 100 is taken from an infinite population with mean mu equal to 75 and sigma square equal to 256. With what probability can we assert that the value of x will fall between 67 and 83? Solution. The form of population is unknown, but sigma is known and n is greater than 30. According to the central limit theorem, the sampling distribution of x will be approximately normal with expected value of x equal to 75 and sigma of x bar equal to 1.6. Then probability that x lies between 67 and 83 is equal to probability that z lies between 67 minus 75 upon 1.6 to 83 minus 75 upon 1.6, which is equal to 5 times 5 minus 5 times minus 5, which is equal to 1. Two random samples of size n1 and n2 are drawn from population of sizes n1 and n2 with mean mu1 and mu2, variance sigma 1 and sigma 2 respectively. Both random samples are either from an infinite population or sampling is done with replacement. Let x1 bar be the mean of first random sample and x2 bar be the mean of second random sample. For independent random samples, we have the following rules of mathematical expectation. Expected value of x1 bar plus x2 bar is equal to expected value of x1 bar plus expected value of x2 bar, which is equal to mu1 plus mu2, and expected value of x1 bar minus x2 bar is equal to expected value of x1 bar minus expected value of x2 bar, which is equal to mu1 minus mu2. Variance of x1 bar plus x2 bar is equal to variance of x1 bar plus variance of x2 bar, which is equal to sigma 1 2 upon n1 plus sigma 2 2 upon n2. And variance x1 bar minus x2 bar is equal to variance x1 bar minus variance x2 bar is equal to sigma 1 2 upon n1 minus sigma 2 2 upon n2. If the samples are drawn from normal distribution population, then the sample statistic x1 bar plus minus x2 bar will also be normally distributed with mean mu1 plus minus mu2 and standard deviation whole under root sigma 1 2 upon n1 plus sigma 2 2 upon n2 for any sample size. When the population distribution is unknown and sample drawn is large, for n1 greater than equal to 30 and n2 greater than equal to 30, the central limit theorem is used to approximate the distribution of x1 bar plus minus x2 bar to be approximately normal with mean mu1 plus mu2 and standard deviation whole under root sigma 1 2 upon n1 plus sigma 2 2 upon n2. When population variances are not known and are estimated by sample variances x12 and s22 respectively, then for sample sizes greater than 40, the distribution of x1 bar plus minus x2 bar will be approximately normal with mean mu1 plus mu2 and standard deviation whole under root s12 upon n1 plus s22 upon n2. For samples drawn without replacement from finite populations, the finite population correction factor must be applied. For normal population with known variances, the distribution of x1 bar plus minus x2 bar will be approximately normal with mean mu1 plus mu2 and standard deviation whole under root sigma 1 2 upon n1 n1 minus n1 upon n1 minus 1 plus sigma 2 2 upon n2 n2 minus n2 upon n2 minus 1. If populations are not normal or population variances are not known and estimated from sample data, the sample size must be large. If both random samples are independent and from the same population, so that mu1 is equal to mu2 is equal to mu and sigma 1 square is equal to sigma 2 square is equal to sigma, then expected value of x bar plus y bar is equal to 2 mu and expected value of x bar minus y bar is equal to 0. The standard deviation of distribution of x1 bar plus minus x2 bar is sigma under root 1 upon n1 plus 1 upon n2. If population variance is not known, then we estimate it by weighted average of sample variances. Example 4. The average lifetime of Duracell alkaline AA batteries, Eveready Energizer alkaline AA batteries are given as 4.1 hours and 4.5 hours respectively. The standard deviations of lifetimes are 1.8 hours for Duracell batteries and 2 hours for Eveready batteries. Random samples of 100 new batteries of each brand are selected. What is the probability that the sample mean lifetime of Duracell exceeds the sample mean lifetime of Eveready batteries? Let mean lifetime of samples of Duracell batteries be x bar hours and mean lifetime of samples of Eveready batteries be y bar hours. Hence, mean x bar is equal to mu x is equal to 4.1 hours and mean of y bar is equal to mu y is equal to 4.5 hours. Hence, mean of x bar minus mean of y bar is equal to minus 0.4 hours. Variance of x bar is equal to 1.8 square upon 100, which is equal to 0.0324, and variance of y bar is equal to 2 square upon 100, which is equal to 0.04. Hence, variance of x bar minus y bar is equal to under root 0.0724, which is equal to 0.269. Since samples are large, by central limit theorem, the distribution of x bar minus y bar is normal, with mean of x bar minus mean of y bar equal to minus 0.4 hours and standard deviation is equal to 0.269. Now, probability x bar is greater than y bar is equal to probability x bar minus y bar is greater than 0, which is equal to 1 minus probability x minus y is less than 0. Therefore, required probability is 1 minus probability x minus y less than 0, which is equal to 1 minus probability z is less than or equal to 0 minus 0.4 upon 0.269, which is equal to 1 minus 5 times 1.487, which is equal to 1 minus 0.9319, which is equal to 0.0681.
Let us now summarize what we have learnt in this module. The sampling distribution is a distribution of sample statistic when using a procedure that repeatedly samples from a population and each time computes the same sample statistic. The resulting distribution of the sample statistic is a sampling distribution of that statistic. That when infinite number of successive random samples of size n are taken from a given population with mean mu and variance sigma square, the distribution of sample means will be approximately normally distributed with mean mu and standard deviation sigma upon under root n, provided n is sufficiently large irrespective of the shape of the population distribution.